Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, tonight here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It is the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, live from the Chicagoland Speedway. Chicagoland Speedway broke ground in 1999. It first opened to NASCAR-hosted events July of 2001. The track here tonight is a 1.5-mile track that is 2.4 kilometers, 4 turns, 18 degrees of banking on the turns. It is only 11 degrees of banking on the front straightaway, but the back straightaway, which may be the tricky factor here tonight from Chicagoland, there is still 5 degrees of banking. This track may have just got, well, a little bit of a downplay by NASCAR, but here on the iRacing.com server, we will be able to bring you all the racing action for years to come. I'll be your host here tonight. From the Chicagoland Speedway, I'm Roger Muth up in the booth, bringing you all the camera sights here tonight. Alongside me is my trusty little friend here, Al Smith. Al, good to have you back here in the Turn 3 Racing booth tonight to bring us some more of the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series action.
Yeah, glad I could make it out here to Chicagoland Speedway for tonight's racing activities, and it's been a pretty contested season so far in the RB Custom Rigs Scrambler series, Roger, and I'm pretty excited to be here to bring all the action alongside of you. We're bringing back the old gang back together.
Well, Al, it's good to have you back here. You missed some great racing action so far this year. This year, 2 drivers already have 2 wins that have locked themselves into the postseason. Max Terriel, Sean Butler both have 2 wins to their name. Everybody else trying to catch them. There's only 3 other drivers right now that have a win this season that are in. So 5 total drivers: James Heater, James Skelton, and Tim Blum. All 3 of them join Butler and Terriel into the postseason. But that's not the only drivers that will get to race for a championship. When we talk about the championship, well, it is only 3 races if you count this race here tonight into that championship hunt. So let's talk about that championship. Well, with those race wins, Max Terriel is at the top of the boards. He has a 9-point advantage in the regular season standings over James Heater and James Skelton. That is 9 points separated the top 3 positions. Just 20 points back is Tim Blum. Yes, he has a win. He is locked in. But the driver that's sitting 5th is not locked in on a championship points. It is Michael Trevarthen. Then it's Ethan Troutman, Zach Mitchell, the rookie, Eric Johnson, Richard Murdoch, and Joe Shrano round out the top 10 in your championship hunt. And then it's these drivers that are all kind of in the mix on the bubble. There is 20 points that separate the 11th place driver to the 17th place driver. That is Justin Gann, and he is not here tonight, so that's going to shake things up. Tony Strano sitting right there, also tied for that 12th position. And then it's Sean Single, the rookie. He is sitting there 14th. Nathan Maurer is 15th. And right there is where things start to get shaky. He's not here tonight either. He is out hunting Bambi. On Ryan O'Danny, he's right there just a couple points out. And Jason Wells. So those drivers right there, from Gann all the way down to Wells, is something we're going to have to keep an eye out on here tonight as the points go on, as the race heads into the evening. It'll be only 90 laps of racing here tonight at the Chicagoland Speedway, so the racing here tonight should go pretty quick. Right now, these drivers are out on track during their qualifying, and I can tell you there's 26 drivers that have logged in tonight here to the virtual Chicagoland Speedway. Race fans, you want to get out on track with a lot of these racers that you see, like Murdoch, Johnson, Silva, Terriel, Bromley, Butler? Well, you need to head on over to RB Custom Rigs, and you need to get yourself a custom sim rig. Anything from mild all the way to wild, so you can get out here and race virtually. Don't worry, they don't just make iRacing simulators. You want to play flight sim? Well, they have everything you need to go flying in the sky virtually. Head on over to RB Custom Rigs today and get your rig. So with just over 2 minutes left here before we head to the qualifying grid, race fans, we're going to step away. We're going to get that national anthem played, and we'll be back here from the virtual Chicagoland Speedway for the RB Custom Rigs race here. Just 3 races left before we go playoff racing.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the virtual Chicagoland Speedway, host of the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing. It is just about time, as you see the truck starting to grid up. Let's get down to the Green Forest Tree Supply starting lineup. Green Forest Tree Supply is the place to go. The spring is coming, race fans. Get out there and get your trees planted now, so when the springtime comes, it is looking beautiful out there. This is the starting lineup. Starting P number 1 here tonight, driver of the 88, it is Sean Butler. To his outside, the 01 of Richard Murdoch. Starting third here tonight, the 33 of Eric Johnson. Dustin Gainey will roll off fourth. Fifth, to James Heater. Corey Silva in the Primetime Racing 94 will roll off sixth. Seventh, to Max Terriel. Eighth, to DJ Anderson. Ninth, to the DraftTop.com, 48 of Michael Bromley. And rounding out the top 10, it is the Florida native, the number 10 of Tim Blum.
Starting 11th will be Michael Travart, and outside of him, the 924, the rookie that's Zach Mitchell. Starting 13th will be James Roger, I have some technical difficulties going on here. I am not seeing the starting lineup.
Starting 14th here tonight, it's going to be the number 2, the DraftTop.com, number Need for Speed machine, that is Joshua Buckley. Starting 15th, the number 20, it's Brandon Yeet Minto. Starting 16th is going to be Ethan Troutman in the 62, Strano. 19th, the Jason Wells. 20th is going to be Mr. Single in the 914. 21st tonight, it's the Aussie of Kevin O'Brien. Starting 22nd, it is Tony Strano, and starting back here in the 23rd position is going to go to the number 84, Christopher Rothrock, Doug Neal, Ryan O'Danny, Rob Higgins, and Phillips will round out our field here tonight. And we are getting ready to go Green Flag Racing. Green Flag is racing here at the virtual Chicagoland Speedway. 90 laps going to be the distance here tonight with the tailgaters. Turn number 1 right now, the battle for the race lead is going to be Sean Butler in the Trust Me Vodka 88 machine. Right behind him, the number 33, that is Eric, it's Eric Johnson, actually. Threw me for a loop there, as Eric Johnson lately has been driving the orange Dirty Mo Radio, number 33, but coming to complete lap number 1, it will be the Trust Me Vodka driver out of Ohio. Sean Butler will lead the first lap as we are racing here at Chicagoland.
When they go to 33 of Johnson, working the back bumper of Butler. Butler, a two-time winner this season. They work down here on the backstretch. Richard Murdoch working side by side with the 18 of James Heaters. Now they're going to double them up just like they were pace laps around the Chicagoland Speedway.
That outside lane right now for Eric Johnson in that Dirty Mo, number 33. It is coming high, wide, and handsome. Now Butler in the Trust Me Vodka 88 will go to the outside. That's going to leave the bottom lane open here for James Heater. Heater will go down to the bottom with his M&M's Toyota. Oh, contact back there. Michael Bromley going in the wrong direction. He got a little loose. Sideways for Bromley into the outside wall.
Big back up on the backstretch. Blum involved in the car number 10. Is Bromley with the draft top number 48. Heavy contact. Multiple cars involved here early on in this one.
So now with Michael Bromley going around, it looks like Tim Blum is involved in this one. maybe also Brandon Minto involved in it. So we'll go back here in just a couple of seconds and watch what happened to the driver of the drafttop.com, number 48, Silverado, here tonight. It looks all sorts of jacked up after having a great qualifying attempt. This is what happens to Michael Brownlee. There we already see the wreck has already happened. We're going to have to see if our truck can go back just a little bit farther. You see Tim Blum getting involved. You see the 84 right there, Rothrock, able to get around that caution flag. Look like 3 wide racing. Corey Silva also nowhere to go in the primetime racing, number 94. Blum
Nice.
heavily involved.
Yeah, very heavy contact there. Same with the 62. See his rear bumper all caved in. Not going to be a very good for a very aerodynamic dependent track here for the car number 62.
See Tim Blum, which is nowhere to go as that 31. That's Sunoco Ultra Chevrolet. That is the 31 of Trevarthen. He was involved in this incident. As you see the Classics hot sauce, number 10 of Tim Blum, up into the outside wall. Tonight's track is a very aerodynamic, needed track. I mean, it's one of those tracks, especially for the tailgaters, that you need to have all 4 quarter panels of your vehicle pretty straight. So we're seeing, as we look back once again, there you see the 4 trucks with the heavy damage, the 94, the 31, the 10, and the 48. You also do see Minto going around in the number 20 machine. He was just out of our camera angle. There you see the Barstool Sports Miller light entry of Minto. His rear end is shortened up. There you do see the 62 of Troutman also rolling away with heavy, heavy damage. Al, that's going to put a little bit of a hamper to a lot of these drivers tonight in the early going.
Yeah, some of those drivers were on the bubble drivers, and as you see, the 10 of Tim Blum also involved in that one. He's already locked in with the win as he's down on pit road. They're trying to get that Classic hot sauce truck back together here. The crew pounding out the dents on the backside and the right front, and it's going to be a tough sledding for him coming out here. But we see how the 48 draft top machine also as Blum pulls away. So some heavy damage on that number 10 Chevrolet. So we'll see if he's going to be able to stay up with the pack once we go back green flag racing.
You know, I did notice the 42 of Max Terrill is now our race leader. As there you see the race leader. It's the 42 of Terrill, the 01 of Murdoch. Then it's Gainey, Mitchell, Combs, your top 5 with O'Danny, Higgins, Butler. Butler elected to come down pit road here early. The fuel tonight, and this is just an assumption, maybe 35 laps, and we're going 90 here tonight for these tailgaters. Is it too early to pit and give up all that track position?
I don't believe so. It just depends on if you're willing to go back there. The 4 laps is going to be a big difference. This track wears out your tires quite a bit, and you know these guys have limited tires down on pit road, so it's kind of use them early, or maybe they just came down and topped off at fuel, saving those tires for later on in the event. But I don't know if it's too early. He didn't really. Top 7 cars did not come down pit road, so he lost 7 spots. Not a big, in my opinion, a big loss.
So we'll keep track of that when we go back racing here. And then we will see how he's able to gain through the field. Let's see if the iRacing pace lights, or iRacing pace truck lights do go off here, if we can get back to the green flag racing here. Timing and scoring up top to show you where your favorite drivers are at the iRacing pace truck lights. Johnny Pacer tonight, Al, he turns the lights off.
Johnny Pacer in the pace truck. We got Barney up in the flagger stand. We all set, ready to go racing at the Chicagoland Speedway. And, well, I heard the news, Roger, that Chicagoland is not going to get a race in 2021.
Yeah, it's unfortunate news because this mile and a half, it did put on some good shows. The back straightaway, you see it, it's a little bit kinked here in the back straightaway. And that made for some interesting strategies. Guys could go out there, run the wall. Guys could also try and cut it. So we will see we can always live on virtually and how these guys race it. Unfortunately, the real world, we are not going to be headed to the Chicagoland Speedway. It is a little unfortunate, but NASCAR has been mired down by the mile and a half tracks over the last couple of decades. And Al, some more road courses and some short tracks will be coming now to the NASCAR schedule.
Yeah, I wish that they would do what the RB Custom Scrambler series does and run a different premier class every week. That kind of get a little costly for the pocketbooks as the green flag is back out. We're back underway with Therio jumping on the loud pedal, but that Richard Murdoch, the 0-1, hanging tough on the outside.
Looks like everybody's going to be able to get up to speed here. Terriot still leading the way. The Chick-fil-A Dustin Gainey entry, number 15, is hot to trot there in that second position now, and he'll dive down to the inside going into turn number 3, so that is the battle for the race lead. Here comes the Chick-fil-A Dr. Pepper, number 15 of Dustin Gainey to the front. He will lead a lap here tonight at the Chicagoland Speedway.
Gainey leads the lap and right down the inside. There is no out of bounds here at the Chicagoland Speedway. We see him fanning out 2 and 3 wide. Butler quickly working inside the top 5, going for 4th underneath the 917 of Tim Combs. Combs going to slide to the outside. They turn side by side, wheel to wheel all the way down the backstretch.
Combs trying to bring that Bass Pro pink. It is the month of October, so he has the pink Bass Pro shop. Tracker boats on the 917 this week. Brand new colors for him. You do see that is the 88 of Sean Butler. He has been able to gain some positions here since that restart. Butler now up running into the 4th spot. He's got Combs right behind him. Someone that is fading now on this restart, that is Rob Higgins. He has moved up the most positions here tonight. The driver of the checkered flag auto supply number 941. Higgins in that Ford, now stuck to the outside. He's got Ryan O'Donnell behind him, and they are the only 2 to the outside right now, and they're heading backwards.
Yeah, they got the back bumper full of O'Donnell, the 98 to 86. The Skelton working down to the inside. Got that preferred line. Contact almost between O'Donnell and the 43 of Joe Strano as here comes number 2. It is the boss man here, Josh Buckley, the owner and promoter of the Red Light Scrambler series, sponsored by RB Custom Rigs, working his way up through the field. This is the battle for 12th on the Speedway.
And that's the battle for 12th. And a little bit of well, I say a little bit, but that was a huge wiggle by Joe Strano as he'll go up the track. Ryan O'Donnell almost into the outside wall there. I'm not sure if he did catch at the back end of that Ford F-150. Has seen better days, and we'll see if that really plays into maybe a little bit of a loose situation a little bit later on. But the battle for the race lead is on again, because here comes the 01 of Richard Murdoch. He is being pushed by the Trust Me Vodka 88 of Sean Butler. Butler with those 4 fresh tires. Actually, it just looks like it might have been fuel only for Sean Butler, I'm being told, on pit road. So the 88, a fuel only stop. And he is actually being able to gain a lot of ground here and eat up these drivers. He is now up to 3rd as DJ Anderson is side by side. That is the Zach Mitchell, the rookie, 924 entry.
Yeah, it'll be the first time that Anderson, he's in the 6th spot trying to get to the back side of the 42 of Therio. Therio started on the front row on this restart. Now finds himself going in the opposite direction because Anderson will run him door to door. Number 1.
So as they battle also for the lead, Gainey going to get passed on the inside. Richard Murdoch bringing the adventure in pixels. Machine to the inside. He will now go for the race lead in turn number 3. They are side by side for the first 4 positions. Now Tim Combs going to fade just a little bit on the outside groove. It's going to be the 01 of Richard Murdoch leading lap number 14 at the stripe here tonight. 90 laps the distance, working lap number 15. A long way to go and a short time to get there.
The top 7 trucks are all the bow ties. Is the first car behind them that's not is the 18 of Peter. That's the Toyota of Peter and the Skelton's number 86. Skelton quietly working up the field right now. Down 5 spots since the green flag, but working his way back towards the front. In that number 86, then it's the first Ford, the 2 of Buckley. The draft top number 2 is now. It is a 10-car gaggle up at the front of this one for the race lead.
Joe Strano, Tony Strano, they are coming. They're bringing along Christopher Rothrock and Jason Wells. Higgins still holding on to the top 15 position. He restarted just outside the top 5. He has now fallen on those older tires back to the 15th position as they still run side by side up here. That is DJ Anderson and Dustin Gainey as Anderson down to the bottom with the Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry. The Dr. Pepper Chick-fil-A entry is up top there. The Lord's Chicken, that's what they tell me, Al. I don't know. They call it Chick-fil-A down south, the Lord's Chicken. I don't get it, but then again, I'm living up here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we just starting to get them up here in the upstate New York area, and I do enjoy the Chick-fil-A. It's not going in the right direction right now. They're working on the 10 of Plum. Plum's going to go down pit road with the Classic Hots number 10, getting out of the way of the race leaders. That truck is wounded, so not the night that Tim Blum was looking for. He's down pit road, but Berna showing away with Butler now back to second.
Yeah, Butler is right there, and he is coming. He is hounding the back end as we go on board here with the Adventure and Pixels onboard camera with Richard Murdoch, who is our leader here tonight at the Virtual Auto Club, or Virtual Chicagoland Speed. I wanted to say Auto Club, Al, because that's been in the news a lot lately, just like the Chicagoland Speedway.
Yeah, it definitely has. But we're here in Chicago, Joliet, Illinois. This is where we're at tonight as Murdoch showing the way that it is a good battle as they have drawn even. The 917 of Combs to the inside, the 15 of Gainey up on the outside, trying to get that momentum to shoot him down to the back. Combs putting the nose just out in front of Gainey.
Yeah, they were 3 wide for a moment with Max Terriot there, and then these two drivers elected to lift just a little bit, and that let Max Terriot get that little bit of a scoot away, and now we battle back here for that 5th, 6th position, and just behind them, it's the gaggle of Toyotas coming up through the field. That's Heater and Skelton. They run 7th and 8th with Zach Mitchell right there. Buckley's still hanging on to the tail right now. He is running in that 9th position. Zach Mitchell has a little bit of a slide there by the Tim Combs entry, almost going 3 wide, almost getting the James and James split down the back straightaway, but they will go 2 by 2 down into turn 3 here on lap number 20, the inside lane for the 86. So James Skelton will pull up. Now here comes Josh Buckley in that Ford.
Yeah, we got them 3 wide. Strano on the inside. Now they'll get back to 2 by 2 into turn number 1. You do not want to enter turn 1 3 wide. Here is now the 3 of Tony Strano. He'll slide up right behind the 18 of Peter. Nice crossover by the 924 of Mitchell as he'll bring the Napa Auto Parts car to the inside in the turn number 3. They'll pull into the turn 3 of the Mitchell on the inside. Strano outside contact between Peter and the 64 of Wells is they'll go 3 wide for the tri-oval.
Down to the bottom comes that Chevrolet. The 924 of Mitchell, he's going to lift a little bit. He will let Wells have the bottom groove. It's going to leave James Heater to the outside. That is the Victory Junction Chevrolet, the number 3 for the Strano Brothers Racing Organization. That is Tony Strano. He's trying to break into the top 10 here with his Chevrolet. It is all clean, and I would like to say green, but that's the one behind it. That is Joe Strano in the Green Forest Tree Supply entry. He is coming. His truck is clean and green, and it is ready to be a mean machine here tonight. Right now, there is that 33, though, of Eric Johnson also chomping at the bit as these guys still have not given up. Wells will now take the position, putting Heater and Mitchell side by side. Mitchell going to lose the bottom. Got a little tight in that Chevrolet.
They'll lock the front end a little bit that time on the entry. Turn number 1 with the Napa truck. Going to be able to slide back in line in front of Heater. Now Johnson, he'll bit to the inside of Tony Strano in the turn number 3. The 33 and the 3 doing battle as they come off turn number 4. Now Joe Strano taking a little peek to the inside of that Victory Junction game number 3. As they work through the tri-oval, it'll be Johnson, Strano, and Strano battling it out for your number 14 position.
As the Stranos battle back here for that 13th and 14th position, you do realize that Tony Strano has the Victory Junction logo on his number 3. The Strano brothers, probably some of the most, well, the nicest guys you're going to meet onto the iRacing platform. Both of them do have the Victory Junction logo on their Chevrolets here tonight, as now it looks like Dustin Gainey and Zach Mitchell, or Tim Combs, will all come to pit road here. But there is actually a little bit of a, I don't want to say a contest going on, Al, but if you follow the Red Light Racing page via either their website or their Facebook page, they do have a thing right now with the Victory Junction going on. A little bit of a raffle, I guess it is. There's more details to come with it. But head on over to Red Light Racing and find out more info on the Victory Junction gang joining Red Light Racing. But green flag pit stops are happening here for the first time.
Yeah, Richard Murdoch going to come in from the 5th spot. He'll slow the 0-1 Pixel and Pixels machine down pit road, but it's very slow. I believe it is 45 miles an hour down pit road as he'll look to hit his spots perfectly. Expect a 4-tire change and a full tank of fuel as they come down here on pit road.
So as he hits pit road, a couple other drivers will end up staying out here, as there you see the battle for the race lead. Now it is Sean Butler. Here comes Max Terrill. He will peel off from the second position. He'll bring the MK Medic machine to pit road. So Max Terrill pits from now the second position. This is the first round of green flag pit stops here from Chicagoland tonight for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. You are watching it live here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network, home for all red light racing. But Al, with this stop right here for Max Terrill, as we see him come into the box, stops a little short on lap 27. You're not able to go 30, 60, and finish it off here at 90. This might be just a little bit short on fuel.
It might be, but you gotta remember, these guys did not come down pit road. So like your race leader, Sean Butler, DJ Anderson, your top 5, top 6 cars, trucks working around the speedway now, they all came in and topped in on lap 4. So they should be able to make it 30 to make a 2-stop race from this point forward. So maybe a good strategy call by these drivers. If it stays green, which we have seen in the RB Custom Rigs Scrambler Series, this series has gone green flag from start to finish on multiple occasions.
Yeah, tonight we did have one early yellow flag here, so one caution flag being thrown tonight in the early stages of this one. Michael Bromley, Tim Love, Corey Silva, and a handful of other drivers were wrapped up in that one. As you see the 48 drafttop.com machine of Michael Bromley, he is a couple laps down to the race leaders right now. His Chevrolet looks like a crinkled up beer can that is missing a top. As there, as you see the other draft top. Oh, big wiggle. DJ Anderson, he might be coming to pit road, and he wiggled down there in 3, and he's going to take a late entry in. Sideways hits the cone, and he'll be able to hang on to it. But I wonder, will there be a speeding penalty for DJ Anderson?
He came in very hot, trying to get every ounce out of that Mountain Dew number 51. I think he maybe have done it a little bit too much. We'll have to see if the pit stewards going to penalize the number 51, but he hits his stop as they put the tires on there. As Skelton is your race leader, we'll see if he comes down pit road. Him, Heater, and the 48 of Bromley all coming down pit road. Heater sideways coming down the pit road.
So was Skelton. Skelton was actually in the grass. One of them sideways off pit road. That's the 84 Christopher Rodrock. The jack drops, and he hammered down, and it just went completely sideways. Too much power in that Silverado here tonight. As you see, Tim Love still continuing to sit on pit road, so this is going to shake things up here. Richard Murdoch might be the race leader, as he's got the 15 of Dustin Gainey. That is the battle right now for the 4th and 5th position, as they are worked out, or they have already made their pit stops and worked their way back out onto the racetrack here. 30 laps completed here tonight. Richard Murdoch will cycle back through as the race leader here.
Murdoch showing away. Gainey trying to find some clean air on the front of that Chick-fil-A number 15. They work off turn number 2. Theriot runs in your number 3 spot, and Zach Mitchell 4th, as we got 2 trucks nose to tail in 2 separate battles. They work around the Speedway. Rounding out your top 5 is the Bass Pro Shop number 917 of Tim Combs. He's up 11 spots since the green flag is dropped here tonight. Our biggest mover is the back guy that's under fire from Zach Mitchell, the 42 of Max Theriot, up 14 positions from his starting spot back in the 17th position.
Al, I think the Gremlin still has the stranglehold on the timing and the scoring, because Tim Combs is up 12 positions, Theriot only up 4. But I know, little sketchy right now on that timing and scoring. It's been bouncing around here tonight, not just on you. It's been bouncing around on us, but what we can tell you right now is 32 laps officially complete. Richard Murdoch still leading the way with Dustin Gainey in 2nd. 3rd is Theriot. 4th is Mitchell. 5th is Combs. Sean Butler, though, went in a little bit later than most people. Remember, he had the most fuel on board his 88. He is running now 6th after the green flag pit stops. Running just a little bit behind him in the number 51 Mountain Dew Baja Blast, that is the number 51 of DJ Anderson. He's been having himself a pretty quiet night, got a little loose a couple times. But look at the man who's running in the 8th position. We're going to give him the announcer jinx, Al. Running 8th, that is the drafttop.com number 2 Ford of Joshua Buckley. He is up 6 spots here tonight. He is running 8th. Rounding out the top 10 after pit cycles, it's going to be Ryan O'Donnell. He's right there in his Ford F-150, the full throttle racing driver. He is running 9th. And about a 2.5 seconds back, you find the Alienware number 64, the pink numbered machine this month. It is the 64 of Wells. Heater's right behind him, just outside the top 10.
Yeah, one spot out of the top 10 is that M&M's 18 in the 11th spot. Now trying to take that spot from Wells. He'll dive to the inside, trying to get past him, and he will do so as Heater will take away that 10th spot.
Heater has about 1 lap pressure tires on that Toyota, and he is making them sing here. Wells, one of those drivers that will be there at the end of this race. Don't worry, he will take care of those Goodyear Racing Eagles here tonight. He will bring the Chevrolet towards the front before this is over. We are still green flag racing here at the virtual Chicagoland Speedway, the 1.5-mile track playing host here to this battle for the race lead. It is 2 trucks, and then it's another 2 trucks. 1-2 right now for Murdoch and Gainey, and then it's 3 and 4 for those 2, Terrill and Mitchell. So everybody a little bit spread out here after that pit cycle, but you can still find the Stranos back here, Al. They're always somewhere near each other. They may be brothers, but the brotherly love does not kind of carry over. It's mano-y-mano, 1v1 when they get here on the iRacing.com platform. Each one of them just wants to beat the other.
Yeah, they're battling right now for your 12th position as they are trying to close in on the back bumper of the 64 of Wells as they work through turns 20 and 2. So they are about 2/10 of a second behind that battle as they try to chase down O'Danny in our 11th position. O'Danny doing a good job despite having some back end damage as they work around the track as we go on board with Tony Strano. He works down here. You see him drop down to the apron. It'll knock your fillings out of your teeth if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's something they also got to worry about once the run goes on here tonight, is diving down below that white line on the front straightaway. It could get these trucks a little bit upset here tonight. Well, Al, you know, we're on this long run here tonight. Maybe we can get a word in with the driver of the number 10 of Tim Blum, who is still sitting down on pit road. Tim, you got a copy. It's Muth and Smith up here in the booth.
Yeah, guys, how you doing?
Well, it looks like we're doing a little bit better than you in that Classics Hot Sauce number 10 tonight here, Tim. Looks like down on pit road and you are out of the truck. What's wrong with the 10 tonight?
Well, got caught up in that lap 2 wreck, and I'm trying to watch it back now, but, you know, it's just nowhere to go and had engine damage, so my car was many, many seconds off the pace.
Well, tonight may not be the night as you look to possibly be done here as we close in on the halfway point tonight. So with this truck race kind of being a wash for yourself, you are locked in with a win. Are you looking forward to the final 2 races of the regular season at North Wilkesboro Speedway with the 1987 machines next week, and then when we head to the Daytona International Speedway?
Yeah, those are going to be fun races. The 87 car isn't in the playoffs, and Daytona is Daytona, so it's just going to be I'm glad I'm locked in because this was a rough night, but yeah, those are going to be some good races, and I hope everyone tunes in.
Well, tough luck for Tim Blum here tonight, Alice. He will now be sitting behind the 8 ball just a little bit. He's locked in on points, but you really want to come out here and gain as many victories as you can, as we saw Max Terrill take over the 2nd position.
Yeah, that 4-car battle up front has now turned into a 6th. Now Butler working underneath the 924 of Mitchell. That's the battle for 4th. But yeah, Blum's locked in. He picked up the win 2 weeks ago at Rockingham in the 1987 machines. So it's good to see, you know, he doesn't feel like it's affecting him too much, other than maybe losing out some seat time behind the wheel of the Gander RV Truck Series trucks that they are running here. But 87 cars not in the chase per se, so they're good opportunity for someone to get in that maybe can handle those cars. Those cars are a handful, and it'll be a good race next week at the North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Sean Butler will work to the inside here of Dustin Gainey down in turns 1 and 2. It looks like he will possibly be able to bring DJ Anderson, his teammate, right along with him, as they are just running nose to tail, trying to slice and dice through the field. So now that'll move Butler to 3rd, DJ Anderson to the 4th spot, moving Dustin Gainey back to 5th. Josh Buckley is also right there, having the best run of the season for the driver of the number 2. This is not the last time we will see the Gander Outdoor trucks on the track here for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. We will see them when we get to the round of 8 at the Phoenix International Raceway. But until then, we got to go through the NASCAR Winston Cup. 1987 machines, the Cup cars, the Xfinity cars back to the Cup cars, and then we will settle back into the trucks for the final time of the 2020 season number 2, as now here comes the number 2 of Joshua Buckley.
Yeah, and as that's happening, the 42 Ethereal has gotten around the 0-1 of Murdoch, and here comes Butler as well. Murdoch going to get shuffled from first all the way back to fourth as they work down here in the turn number 1. Butler now going to take the close side out of Ethereal as that is a battle as they draw even off of turn number 2.
Sean Butler looks like he will bring the Trust Me Vodka to the inside out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway here on lap number 45, who will lead tonight at the halfway point. DJ Anderson also right down on the bottom. Murdoch going to fall from the race lead all the way back to the 4th position. Now DJ Anderson going to get sliced there as Terriot found a home. Sean Butler leads at the halfway point tonight here for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series.
45 rings, 45 to go. And we're seeing the fresher tires come to the front as your race leader pitted on lap 29. DJ Anderson also on 29, 3-lap fresher tires. Then the 42 of Theriot as we look backwards from Sean Butler, looking back at the battle for second. Theriot trying to hold off the 51 of Anderson. Murdoch starting to lose touch. He'll come down pit road. Murdoch going to bring our second round of pit stops down pit road.
As he comes down pit road, he is not alone. Here comes the Chick-fil-A Dr. Pepper machine. Dustin Gainey to pit road. Tim Combs also coming to pit road in his machine. Right there he is in the pink Bass Pro. Ryan O'Downey also going to come to pit road here. So about 4 or 5 drivers down onto pit road. Sean Butler, DJ Anderson, Terriot Buckley all continue to pace out there tonight after we are halfway home for this round at Chicagoland. Race fans, we hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast here for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If it's your first time watching on the Turn 3 Racing Network, we welcome you here. We're glad to have you. Hit that little subscribe button, hit the notification bell, get a notification anytime we go live from the dirt tracks all the way to the high banks at the Daytona International Speedway weekly right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. KR Stolfus, David Worrell, Chris Legoo, Rick Hammond, Al Smith, and Roger Muth, bringing you all the racing calls on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And tonight, the RB Custom Rigs living up to exactly what they do weekly, and that's put on a great racing action for all of you here virtually. There you see the 43 of Tony Strano. He has pulled away a little bit from Joe Strano. They are inside the top 10 here. Rob Higgins down on pit road with the checkered flag auto supply F-150. He will get 4 tires and rejoin the racing action.
And Anderson has gotten by Theriot, so now their top 2 trucks last pitted on lap 29 as Theriot will peel off the racing surface and come down pit road to service his MK Medics number 42 as the top 2 are battling it out. Here for your race lead, Butler showing the way as the 941 of Higgins will work down the inside of the speedway and off a pit road. They got to stay down in that apron. If you come off that surface down there, that is going to be a penalty, and you do not have that as Theriot already down with the right side. Screw around to the left side of that Chevy number 42, filling it with some Sunoco race fuel, and he'll be down and away here as he will come back out onto the racing surface. Nice pit stop by that crew as they work down there, 14.9 seconds.
Yeah, that's a blistering time by that crew there. They've been training all week, eating some flapjacks with some of that maple syrup from Canada. Sean Butler still continues to lead in the Trust Me Vodka machine. They will go around the 48 of Michael Bromley right ahead of him. That is the 62. That is Michael Trevor. As there comes the 60. That's Troutman. They're all coming to pit road right there. Kind of threw me for the curveball as everybody peeled down.
Okay, your top 4 trucks coming down pit road. James Heater's going to stay out 1 extra lap as he takes over the race lead. But it's Butler, Anderson, Buckley, Wells, and Strano all on pit road to service their trucks as Heater enjoys the race lead. But I have to admit, he's got to be coming down pit road this time by, I would think.
Well, you never know with these guys. They all like to throw the strategy to the wind, as it is going to be the 18 of James Heater coming to pit road this time. Will it be a little bit better entry? It will be this time very easy onto pit road. This is not the first time they have come down, so he will come down. There you see Joe Strano leaving pit road. So Strano done with his service with his Chevrolet. He will now rejoin the racing surface here on lap 53. Green flag pit cycle number 2. And Richard Murdoch, He was the first one to pit road, and I think he will be possibly the first one back to the race lead.
Yeah, all your race leaders now, Heater, Minto, Strano, and Rothrock on pit road is now the 0-1 of Murdoch comes off turn number 4 and through the tri-oval. He will beat them out as Heater just getting up to speed, so easily the 0-1 back to the race lead, gaining third and Therio, or second and Therio will rounds out your top 3 after the second cycle of pit stops.
Out, taking a gander here. Haha, joke, gander outdoor truck series. Taking a gander at the laps we have left in this. We are still over 35 laps to go in this event here. 30 to 35 laps is about the total, I believe, if you max it out on fuel tonight. Do you think we're going to have to see another round of green flag pit stops for a lot of these guys? And if we do you risk it and put 2 tires on?
It could be possible. I think if you're outside the top 10, you might want to come down and put some fresh tires on. They're kind of split this last segment in half, maybe, to get some track position, or maybe force the hand of the leaders. Right now, we're not showing the way over the 42 with Therio gaining. We did see the difference just in a few laps, the tires in that first run, as we're seeing it now. Therio all over the back number lead of that number 0-1.
Yeah, there you see the top 4 battle that right now with Murdoch, Terrell, Gainey, Mitchell just a little bit farther back. He's been slowly just marching through the field here tonight. Zach Mitchell finds himself running 4th after that green flag pit cycle. We'll see if he can hang on to that as he pitted a little bit sooner than some of the drivers that are behind him. That's what gained him the track position, just like Richard Murdoch. As here comes Terriot now, looking to the inside, not going to quite get that Adventure in Pixels 01 at the line, so they will do the side-by-side jig into turn 1, but Terriot, with the fresher tires and the inside lane, he will now take the race lead.
Takes the race lead, and Gainey's going to come with him. It's a good battle back there as they are pulled up even down in the turn number 3. Looking back on the Max Stereo onboard camera, looking back at Gainey, trying to take that spot away from Richard Murdoch. Easy though, in that time through turns 3 and 4. Murdoch maybe just laid over and said, I'm going to take care of these tires as we got a little bit longer to go. As now it's going to be a 6-car battle. Sean Butler, quick little night, all the way back up to 4th. DJ Anderson 5th, and the rookie Zach Mitchell rounding out your top 6 as they work down the backstretch.
7th is James Heater, then it's Josh Buckley running 8th with Wells and 9th, and Combs now is falling back to the 10th position. Max Terriot going to go top shelf here. That's going to put the 15 of Dustin Gainey to the inside. He's going to bring the Dr. Peppa machine to the inside, and Richard Murdoch still hanging on to the Adventure in Pixels machine. But maybe Sean Butler knows something. He might be sitting in the catbird seat right now with DJ Anderson. They're sitting in the draft, but maybe no holds barred because they are going to go 3 wide racing down the back straightaway here on lap number 58. It's going to be Butler to the inside. Murdoch stuck in the middle. High and wide and handsome, the 42 of Max Terriot.
Yeah, there on no man's land, right up there where there's no grip, and he'll go from 2nd back to 6th in a matter of 1 lap. 1 lap ago, there was contact between the 88 and the 0-1 of Butler. Murdoch doesn't seem to have hurt their position. Is now Butler uses the high side around the 15 again for the race lead.
So Butler back to the race lead, and via the unconventional way, he just shows his muscle. He flexes that, trust me, Vodka 88's muscle. He goes to the race lead with DJ Anderson falling in tow. Gainey falling back just a little bit. Lap traffic just ahead of our race leaders here. That is, I believe, the Sean Single machine, and also that will be the 941 of Rob Higgins. Higgins right now trying to stay on the lead lap here tonight with a very wounded checkered flag auto supply machine. I say very wounded, I mean maybe slightly actually to the right front, but not much damage, as that Ford maybe just knocked the cylinder out of it when he hit the wall.
It's possible they got some right side damage on that checkered flag auto supply number 941. He's got the race leader bearing on him. If someone decides to pit now, they can make it. We're within 30 laps to go in this race here at the Chicagoland Speedway. As we look on board with Rob Higgins, looking back as now Butler will work to the inside with DJ Anderson close in tow. into the picture.
One of them down onto the apron. That was the 42, is almost more contact there. I believe there was contact between Gainey and Terriol. It was just out of the camera angle there as they came out of turn 4. You just saw the 42 jet straight down towards the infield grass, and now here comes James Heater. He'll look to the inside of the 42 of Terriol down the back straightaway, and they got more racing action right behind them with Murdoch and Buckley side by side as James Heater will get the inside advantage. Buckley going to work the inside. Here comes Wells along with it. Look at Zach Mitchell. He has went from inside the top 5 all the way back to running 9th. Tail end of this front just about draft pack as your front two of Sean Butler and DJ Anderson are pulling away.
Yeah, they're pulling away. We got them 2 abreast back here for your third spot is Gainey. Now passed by Heater and Eric 42 of Dario. He'll come along with him down the backstretch. The number 2 of Buckley up to your 6th spot, trying to get underneath the 15 of Gainey. Gainey going backwards. Maybe it's used the good off those Goodyear racing tires as they work off turn number 4.
63 laps going to be completed here tonight out of the 90 schedule for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series right here from the virtual Chicagoland Speedway. Race fans, the final green flag pit window is officially open tonight for these drivers. We will see who's going to take that short pit momentum. We've seen it used by a couple drivers so far here tonight, and who's going to have the long run truck. Tonight on these long runs, Josh Buckley has had himself a very solid draft top Ford F-150. That Ford is leading the way for the Ford Brigade here tonight. He is running 5th. The other Fords in the field are back running 17th for Ryan O'Donnell. Brandon Minto with the damage done to his machine. He is 18th. Rob Higgins is 19th. And the other Ford of Sean Single, unfortunately, is, I believe, a couple of laps wounded and down on pit road. So right now, Josh Buckley leading the Brigade as there you see another one of those Ford F-150s ahead of him. That's the checkered flag auto supply, 941 of Rob Higgins.
Yeah, the 64 of Wells really threw it into the inside, but Buckley knew it was coming, kind of threw the door in his face. Now Wells going to try to go to the outside in the trial, but thinks better of it, stays tucked up behind that lap number 2 to enter turn numbers 1. They're closing in on the back side of the 42 of Theriot, 25 laps to go. I thought we might see some of these guys up front kind of short pit to kind of force the hand of their competitors.
Well, it's not too early, or too late, actually, I should say, not too late to pull that strategy. It'll be 25 laps to go this time by at the line here. 24 now officially as Sean Butler does come across the line. We will see which one of these drivers are going to pull it down to pit road here first. Will it be somebody like Josh Buckley or Wells, who are running just back here into the 5th and 6th position? Gainey, who used the tires up, he's back here falling through the field as he has now been caught by the 01, the Adventure in Pixels 01 of Richard Murdoch, as they work down the back straightaway. It'll be 23 laps to go just this time by at the line. The racing is not over here at Chicagoland. It's about to get a little bit hotter, a little bit heavier when these final pit stops do happen. Sean Butler still leading the way here tonight, as there you see him going down into turn number 1 with the Mountain Dew Baja Blast, number 51 of DJ Anderson, hot to trot behind him. Will he be able to make a pass? Because James Heater is coming. There you see the M&M's number 18 Toyota. He is now officially within 1 second of your race leaders.
Yeah, Heater coming in a hurry. He came down on lap 52. The driver's in front of him 1 lap earlier than him, so he's got 1 lap fresher tires, and we're seeing it is making a difference here tonight at Chicagoland Speedway, where the tires are falling off. They're back there 4th. He is 2 seconds behind James Heater, behind this Battlefield race lead, as the 51 of Anderson has a little bit of electrical issues, slid up, maybe touched the wall, that time off turn number 2.
As now the 18, the low line racing number 18 of James Heater will work to the inside. He will get around him. Does this mean DJ Anderson's going to come to pit road this time? Tim Combs came last time by around the same time as Ryan O'Donnell, so they're both down on pit road here. With just 21 laps to go, Sean Butler continuing to lead this race. Now, if you're Butler, Al, you're leading the race, you have a quick truck, you do realize that James Heater is coming. When you come to pit road, do you put 4 on? You're going to have a long time to sit there on pit road, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a 14 to 15 second pit stop. You got to fill the truck up with a full tank of gas to get to the end from this point. So it comes to 20 laps to go. I say you at least try to take maybe right sides if you're a little bit behind this lead trio as they work down here to put 20 laps to go, as they work a lap number 71, as they work through 1 and 2. I think I would gamble and maybe try right sides and fill it with some Sunoco race fuel. to try to gain some of this time. You know you're gonna. The only downfall is if we get a late yellow. These guys are only allowed a certain amount of tires down on pit road. So if you come too early, you're gonna be out for lunch with being caught down with no tires left in the pits. As the trio still stays out on the racetrack, not coming down pit road. And Jason Wells will be the first driver inside the top 10 to come down pit road.
Wells comes to pit road, but it's still Butler, Heater, DJ Anderson still out there. Eric Johnson also brings the Dirty Mo, number 33, to pit road. It was 19 laps to go that time by at the race line. So it's a Butler, Heater, DJ Anderson, Terriel Buckley still out there with 19 to go. Does anybody pull the string here? Pull the parachute out of your top three? They will not. They will stay out. What about the 42? Here comes Terriel. Here comes Buckley. They will come to pit road for the final time tonight.
Yeah, Daryl getting down on pit road, very aggressively down to pit road speed. Nice entrance for the number 42 with Daryl Buckley right there in the toe in his F-150. Those come down. Let's see what they do on pit road. Buckley will be the first one to peel off, and he'll hit his marks. See if it is right side tires as the truck is up in the air. So the crew changing at least right sides on that number 2 is the Sunoco fuel can going back in the left side. So a 4-tire stop for the number 2 of Buckley.
Looks like also a 4-tire stop for the number 42 of Max Terriel. Now here comes Sean Butler. He'll come to pit road. The driver in the race lead out of Ohio. He will come to pit road. He has 2 wins on the season. He is looking for a 3rd one here tonight. It's 17 to go, and the final round of green flag pit stops are happening here at the virtual Chicagoland Speedway. DJ Anderson is sitting second. Right there is the gap between your front two. It is the Toyota and the Chevrolet. They will both come to pit road here now, with just coming to get 16 laps to go.
And you can't get a speeding penalty now as they both hit their marks down on pit road. It'll be a battle to see who comes out first. I believe Richard Murdoch is going to take over your race lead as he pitted back on lap 79. Can he put enough ground between himself and the drivers on pit road? Is there actually Anderson and Heater are in pit road and have not been passed yet. Butler trying to hold on inside the top 5 as Murdoch will go around him.
Murdoch will get around Sean Butler. He's got Dustin Gainey right there. Also the 42 of Terriel Wells. They're all kind of right there, not too far behind. And James Heater, though, was able to put himself a blistering pit cycle in there, so he is down and away. You see him right here. Where's the race leader? You're going to see it as the camera pans. There comes that pack of Richard Murdoch, Dustin Gainey, Sean Butler. Where will they blend in? DJ Anderson going to fall behind just a little bit as everybody is side by side down the back straightaway. They're going to the inside of Richard Murdoch.
Yeah, Murdoch on the outside, Butler working to the inside. Heater still trying to get up to speed. Is he going to be a sitting duck? Is Anderson going to go around, hit the wall? Yellow flag number 2 flying here with just 15 laps to go. Something happened to the 51 of DJ Anderson as he's slowly making his way down pit road.
So that'll be the second caution flag of the night. DJ Anderson just coming back out onto the racing surface with the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Chevrolet. He will now be involved in a wreck and the caution flag flying. So Al, crumble your paper up, Al. Throw it, because those notes aren't going to be good for what we have here towards the end of this one. The truck tells me that they have this one queued up. There it is. Throw them away. It's done. Those are over. Let's watch this back. There you see the 51. Oh, he goes down onto the apron. He actually gets sideways and then slides up in front of the 924 of Mitchell. And then that puts the 51 into the outside wall. So that big wiggle, we'll see if we can go back if we have some more angles of this one, which I believe the truck tells me they do have. They're gathering it up right now. Let's see if we can go on board here when this caution flag comes out and ride on board with Zach Mitchell.
Well, kiss the outside wall just a little bit. I wonder how much damage it's going to have done to the 924 of Zach Mitchell. There's nowhere to go. As we go on board with Anderson, see him get down on that apron and just unloads to your suspension, and around she went in the 51 of Anderson.
See if we can watch this back here. I believe we do have a camera on the back of this Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry. Looking back here, does that 924 make any contact? No, he's already, Anderson was already sideways before Mitchell even got there, so that Mountain Dew machine was going to go for the ride regardless.
The tough break Anderson up front was battling for your race win. In tough sledding there as your race leader stayed out. Peter, Butler, Theriot, and the two of Buckley all staying out. Now we see Troutman coming down with his ream number 62. He'll come down pit road, maybe to try to fix some of that damage as he runs in the 20th position right now. So a few drivers did come down pit road during this caution. The 01 of Murdoch came down, Dustin Gainey came down, and Jason Wells taking this opportunity to come down pit road, maybe to get some just a reassurance on that. It looks like maybe possibly a 4-tire stop is looking at pit times. What about that 14.78 for the 01 of Richard Murdoch's crew? That is probably the fastest time we've seen all race long for a pit stop.
So now Richard Murdoch will be the first driver to restart on fresh tires. A couple other drivers like Heater and Butler were only out there for about a lap or two under the green flag conditions. Or did those tires get heated up enough that it's going to take the good off of it? And then is Richard Murdoch sitting in that catbird seat with the 4, completely Mr. Feelgoods?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have at least a 2-lap advantage over his front competitors, if not more. As James Heater came down on 74, so at least 2 laps. My biggest question, is he going to have enough time? We're going to restart with probably within the 10-lap range left in this event. Is that enough time to make it through 8 vehicles in front of him to get back to the race lead?
8 cars isn't too many. I mean, if you're outside the top 10, it could possibly get to be a little bit of a challenge, but right now it will only be 8 drivers. But James Heater is probably one of the tougher drivers that once he gets there to the front, look at the 3 names that are at the front of this field. Heater, Butler, and Theriot. 3 veterans, 3 very wise veterans that know how to put some good battles on. And then look at who's sitting there in 4th. It's Josh Buckley sitting in 5th. That is the 43 of Joe Strano. Tony Strano's right there along with Brandon Minto. Remember, Minto shortened up the truck bed of that F-150 back in the early stages of this one when we had our first caution flag of the evening. Then it's Doug Neal is right there, and then it's Richard Murdoch. So he's going to start back there a little bit farther back. We'll watch the 01 of Richard Murdoch and see if he can work his way up inside the top 5 here after that pit stop.
How about a nice call out to the driver in front of him, that number 20 of Brandon Minto. We saw him involved in the race incident on lap early on, lap 4, I believe it was, and he's made a nice rebound running inside the top 10 as we get ready to come back green flag racing.
When we do come back green flag racing, it will only be 11 laps to go here tonight at the virtual Chicagoland Speedway for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. iRacing Pace Truck does make the left-hand turn. It is off the racing surface, and the green flag is back out here tonight as we are coming back up through the gearbox here tonight at Chicagoland.
Field spreading out down in the turn row, and Peter and Butler will go in the corner 2 abreast. Some contact between the 18 and the 88 off turn number 2. Theriot pushing Peter off of turn number 2. He's your race leader. Here comes Buckley. He's thought about taking it 3 wide. The door was slammed shut in the turn 3.
Sean Butler still going to hold the outside lane. Oh, a couple of them into the outside wall. The 977, the sim box entry of Doug Neal into the outside wall. Dustin Gainey up into the outside wall. Green flag stays out. 10 laps to go.
10 to go. Tough break to the Chick-fil-A entry of Gainey. Is now Theriot tries to go to the outside. Now trying to cross him back over. Can't do anything with him. Here comes Butler on the outside of Buckley. Buckley in the third.
Richard Murdoch also hot to trot in the Adventure in Pixels. Look at him as he goes to the outside of Joe Strano. Still battling for the race lead, though. Max Theriot still trying to find a way around the 18 of James Heater. Their work off the corner. Look at them all fan out as they all go down to the apron, try to take this shortest route around this 1.5-mile racetrack. 42 of Theriot going to take the big arc. Here comes still the 88 of Sean Butler, still able to hold the outside with Richard Murdoch right behind him. Now the 42 peaks to the outside. Will he go back to the inside, down the back straightaway?
He'll try to get to the back bumper of the M&M's wrapper, number 18 of Heater, as they're still 2 abreast off turn number 4. Buckley working the inside. He'll cut underneath the 42 of Theriot. Can't do anything with him that time as they are stacked up here as they're racing. Heater looking out the rear view mirror to warm in the front windshield.
trying to throw some blocks. Joe Strano going to get forced into the 3 wide with Richard Murdoch to the high side. Here comes the 64, the Alienware machine of Wells. They will make it 3 wide. Now Murdoch going to go from the outside all the way to the inside. He slices underneath the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. Can he hold it there? Close quarters racing. That is for the 4th and 5th position between Murdoch and Buckley as they're coming across the line. It'll be 7 laps to go.
7 to go. Business starting to pick up as it is ready to go. The pay window starting to get greased up here. Heater showing the way. Dario Butler will run off turn number 2 side by side down the backstretch. Who's going to go to there as we go on board with Heater looking back at the action. Here comes Dario to the inside. Butler or Heater will slam the door shut. It is still side by side back there for your number 2 position.
It looks like the 88 of Butler trying to go to the inside of Max Terriel. Not going to be able to do it. The door was slammed that time coming out of turn number 4. As now right to the back bumper goes the 42 of Terriel. They have now started to single file themselves out except for Sean Butler. He's still to the outside as they storm down the back straightaway. 5.5 laps to go. It is James Heater, Max Terriel. Look at Richard Murdoch. He's going to now dive to the inside of the 42. Superman coming to the front with the 4 fresh fuel goods.
Yeah, he's breaking the 64 of Wells as now they're 3 wide down through the tri-oval. Butler still trying to make it work on the trust beam. Line 38 is over in the corner, still 3 wide. Buckley backs out of it. Strano up to 6 as they work through turns 1 and 2, still 3 wide. 1 car going through the grass. That's the 64 of Wells.
Wells going to spin it down to the inside. He slams the inside wall with the 64 Alienware machine. We stay green. It'll be 4 laps to go here at the Chicagoland Speedway. It is James Heater with Richard Murdoch sitting right there. Sean Butler behind him. Butler going to give a little bit of a love tap right there in the center of the tri-oval to the 01 of Richard Murdoch. Murdoch has some right front damage. We'll see if that hampers the performance here with just 4 laps to go as they are starting to pull away those 3, but I don't know if they can run away and hide. The draft may bring the 42 of Terriel, the 43 of Strano into the mix yet.
Yeah, Butler's still trying to work the outside. Can't pass or can't get around him and can't drive through him. So he's working the outside of the speedway as we've got him mixing it up back here. Whoa, they are jammed up and jelly tight. Door slammed by the 98 of Old Danny and Combs make contact as they bounced off each other down to turn number 1. The 924 of Mitchell working his way back up after contact with the wall when the 51 of Anderson made contact. Now Murdoch all over the back bumper of Heater.
Big block down the back straightaway by James Heater, trying to block the Adventure and Pixels advance to the inside. Murdoch going to have to go to the outside. Maybe he can get some momentum built up. Popsicle sticks will go in the air. It will be 2 laps to go. Just 3 miles of racing left here as they get around the 84 of Christopher Rothrock. Next time by, it will be the white flag presented by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. But we got to get there first as we are halfway down the back straightaway.
Halfway down the back straightaway, it'll be the 01. He goes from the outside to the inside. He's got possession on Heater. The 01 of Murdoch working the inside of the speedway. Heater up the racetrack. They both go up. Here comes Butler off of turn number 4.
It's the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, white flag, 1 lap to go. 1.5 miles of racing to go. It is Richard Murdoch to the inside. Here comes the 42. Here comes the 43. And where the heck did Eric Johnson come from? Because he is right there. 6 drivers under a blanket on the final lap. 42 into the outside wall out of turn number 2. And they will race. Oh, more contact there between the race leaders. The 18 of Heater into the quarter panel of couple of them spinning now down to turn 3. The 42 is sideways. They will race to the line. Who will win? Big wreck out of turn 4.
Murdoch going to take the inside. He'll cross the stripe. Richard Murdoch will pick up the win. Heater second. Sean Butler crossed the line third in a photo finish. Joe Strano fourth and Michael Trevarthen. We didn't mention him all race long. We'll round out your top 5.
Wow, and then it's Combs coming home in 6th, Tony Strano in 7th, Ryan O'Donnell will finish 8th here tonight with Brandon Minto 9th, 10th will go to Zach Mitchell, and boy, Al, I think we have to watch the final lap of this one back because there were some things that happened that we missed coming out of turn number 4. Let's go back and well, the producer tells me we don't have that queued up just yet for your race fans, but what I can tell you is we will get to watch the winner do some donuts here tonight. For the first time here this season, Richard Murdoch will park his Adventure in Pixels machine into victory lane. I'm not sure, Al, if he knows where he's going.
He is cutting the grass here at Chicagoland Speedway, doing some burnouts. Their well-deserved burnouts picking up the win. And with that, will lock himself in to the 2020 playoffs here as we get ready to go with that in just 2 weeks' time. 2 races remain after tonight's racing as Murdoch will take and burn it down here on the front stretch.
He is going to lock himself into that championship hunt as he do some donuts around the number 20 of Brandon Minto, who's out there to give him some congratulatory celebrations. Tim Blum, James Skelton, James Heater, Sean Butler, and Max Terriot all lock themselves in, along with the winner here tonight of Richard Murdoch. Now, the truck tells me we do have it. Let's go back and let's watch the white flag here tonight at Chicagoland. This is the white flag lap. As there you see your race leaders. Watch the 42 of Max Terriot, though. You see him. He is going to go up into the outside wall here, coming out of turn number 2. There you see the Dirty Mo radio machine coming with a full head of steam. See that sparks fly from the 42, and let's see what happens. Oh, the 33 goes 3 wide into turn number 3. There you see the 42 and the 33 make the contact. Now let's see what also happens. The 31 of Trevarthen gets involved, and then here are a whole bunch of drivers. Buckley, Minto, Mitchell all involved there.
Tough hits there. We see some violent wrecks. Hopefully everybody will walk out of the infield care center here tonight after that violent wreck in turn number 3 coming to the checkered flags. That was a wild finish, Roger.
But as we get ready for our post-race show here tonight, race fans, post-race show is brought to us by Renaissance Nutrition. You need to get nutritioned up. Head on over to Renaissance Nutrition and get your supplements today. We'll be right back with that post-race show, race fans. Let's hear how Richard Murdoch was able to work his way through the field or when we come back. Welcome back here, race fans, to your post-race show brought to us by Renaissance Nutrition. There you see your winner. Richard Murdoch was doing some virtual donuts here tonight at Chicagoland as he was able to lock himself in. Let's see if we can go down onto the track here and get a word in with the driver of the Adventure in Pixels 01, Richard Murdoch. Victory lane tonight, my friend.
Yes, sir. It's been a while. It's been a long season, crazy ride, so definitely nice to get a win and lock myself into the playoffs. I can kind of take a breather now.
It was hard-nosed racing from the drop of the green flag here tonight with these drivers. You tonight came in a little bit down. You were not locked into the championship hunt, but this will absolutely solidify your chance of racing for a championship here in the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. But walk us through the final stages of this event. With just about 12 laps to go, the caution flag comes out. You come down pit road. For Mr. Feelgoods, you put the Superman cape on. How did you work through those 9 cars ahead of you?
Well, one word for that last run was just complete madness. And I just, I knew I had fresher tires than everybody in front of me, and I just put the gas down and didn't let up unless it was going to wreck somebody. And luckily, those special match tires that Harry put on the truck paid off in the end there. I was able to hold the bottom and keep anybody from getting underneath me there coming out of 4 on the last lap.
Yeah, the 30th anniversary for Days of Thunder. Richard Murdoch, remembering that movie pretty good. Murdoch, now, though, this puts you up in rare air. Only 5 other drivers before you had themselves locked into the playoffs. You will now go dancing in the playoffs with Terriot, Butler, Heater, Skelton, and Blum. Some of the drivers you just beat here tonight. What's it going to take once we get to the playoffs to keep this Adventure in Pixels 01 towards the front of the field?
Well, there's definitely a lot of talent in every one of those names you just said. So basically, I can't make any mistakes. I got to be smart about my strategies and a lot of practice. I've been putting in quite a bit of practice these last few weeks because I knew I was a little down in the points from missing a couple races this season. So just practice and keeping it clean and not making any mistakes. So will definitely be the key.
Well, tonight, Richard, you are the winner. I know there's a lot of fans tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network to watch this Adventure in Pixels 01 go around the virtual track here tonight at Chicagoland. So who makes it all possible for you? I know you got some little ones out there watching too.
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank my buddy Jeremy for letting me put his business on here, Venture and Pixels, out there in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Falcon and his wife Katie, they tune in every Monday night, and his brother Caden actually just started tuning in with us too. So that's pretty cool. Appreciate him coming on. My dad and brother in Chester, South Carolina, they get on here and watch every week. I appreciate that. My uncle out in Elk Grove, California. I'm glad he's able to tune in and watch out there. Luckily, he's been hadn't been too threatened by the fires out there, so that's good. And then here at home, my buddy Frank Franklin and Doug Robertson, I appreciate them tuning in, and my kids just being good for me on Monday night, so I can come in here and race, and hopefully here soon again on Thursday nights. And then you guys up at the booth, it's always a pleasure talking to you, Roger.
Well, there you heard it from the driver out of Somerville, South Carolina. He drives the 01 Adventure and Pixels machine. That is Richard Murdoch. He goes to victory lane tonight, and he will now officially go playoff dancing in just a couple of weeks. He will not have to worry when we go next week to the North Wilkesboro Speedway with the 1987 Winston Cup machines, or hope that he can do it at Daytona. This is his third win in the Scrambler Series division. Congratulations to Richard Murdoch and the whole crew. He comes home P number 1. Coming home in second here tonight, driving the low line racing number 18, that is James Hayter. He put on one whale of a show. You may have thought he had the car to beat, or the truck to beat here tonight at Chicagoland, but tonight it was not Hayter's night. Second place finish is still going to look good in the stat book, in the point standings. When we go playoff racing, he'll have some extra points to his name, but a second place finish for James Hayter. Al, I believe you're standing with the driver who also came up just a little short here tonight.
Yeah, we had a good race all night long. We're sitting down here on pit road as he's talking over to his crew chief, the number 88 of Sean Butler. And Sean, you had a great race out there. The last stint of this race, it was complete madness from our booth. How was it from your driver's seat?
Yeah, all the strategy to get up front and race up front the whole night, kind of thrown out the window. That late caution wasn't meant to be. I knew it was going to be hard sledding on the outside. I knew I wouldn't have any way of getting down to that bottom anytime soon with Max and Heater up there. I knew I was going to be lined up on the outside. I was trying to make it work. I burned off that right front too hard, too much, too quick, there at the end, and just didn't have anything for him at the end, and decided to follow my buddy Richard Murdoch coming off of 4. I thought about making 3 wide for a second. I just dove it down to the bottom and gave him a push. So congratulations to him for coming home for the win and locking himself into the chase.
We saw a lot of good racing, and there's a lot of side-by-side racing. How abrasive is this track for people watching out there? Is it pretty abrasive on the tires for you guys? It seems like even a lap difference in pitting was a difference of a few miles an hour late into a run.
Yeah, late in a run, it made a difference. It's funny, on the early laps, not so much, but once you get 6-7 laps into it, for some reason, that one extra lap of tires, it's probably because, you're running out front, you're running wide open, and Richard was picking his way through traffic, so he probably wasn't running wide open, taking a little bit more care of those tires, which helps out a lot. For me, I was wide open on the outside, about 5 to go, and then it just wouldn't hold wide open anymore. So, it can be abrasive. Just depends on how you drive it. And, side by side, definitely the hardest it can be on these tires.
Next week, you are locked in already to the playoffs with the win in the season opener at Charlotte, and then picking up the win this 2 weeks ago in Martinsville in the truck. Next week, we are in the 87 Winston Cup cars at North Wilkesboro. What's the outlook for you and your team there?
I feel like I've been doing pretty good with the 87 car. Last week, I didn't have the finish I was hoping. I got a little iRacing problem with the, I got the wave around, but since all those other, not the wave around, I got the lucky dog. I was running pretty much up in the top 5 the whole night until that whole stuff, and they had to extend the caution, and that just ended up putting me behind all the wave rounds for some reason. I have no idea, but anyways, I feel like I have a pretty good handle on the car, so I feel like I have a solid race. I don't know if I have a winning car. Tim showed that he was really, really good on the long run with that car last week at I just don't know if I'll have that. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. Rockingham. But I'm just saying, I don't know the long run. I haven't even tried it out. So I've never raced the track yet, so should be some interesting week of doing some testing there, trying to figure out the line and how that car is going to drive there.
Well, you're coming home on the podium in the third spot here tonight, and we got that race in Daytona left in the regular season, and then we go postseason racing. And it's been a pleasure being able to sit down here on pit road. We'll let you get loaded up and head down North Wilkesboro. But before I let you go, who makes it all possible for you?
My teammates over here at Need for Speed. It was good to see DJ made it out. Unfortunately, he was that late caution. He was running really good. Me and him were working really good, running up at the front the whole night. And then, James Skelton, and luckily, unfortunately, got involved in that last corner accident there. So, but great race overall for how we were running all night. And then, got to thank my sponsors, Trust Me Vodka and Gen X Racing. It's great to have them on board and come out here and show them off every week.
Well, there you have it there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's your third place finisher here tonight. Number 88 is Sean Butler, and I believe Roger has caught up down on pit road with our fourth place finisher, Joe Strano.
I have caught up with our fourth place finisher here tonight of Joe Strano. Joe, a very strong machine here in these late goings. Where did you come from all of a sudden?
Oh man, Roger. It was just pit strategy. We pitted early with the first group there to get some fuel. That was able to put us, 5 laps after everybody else in the pits after that point. We pitted right before that last caution came out, so we had fresh tires, so we were able to stay out, and we just stayed up front. We just got, honestly, really lucky with the way strategy played out.
Well, that strategy plays out in your favor. Tonight, you had a chance for the win. Your program here, the Strano Brothers Racing program, has been getting stronger and stronger as this season has gone on. What changed in the camp here as of late for these strong performances?
A lot of practice, a lot of coordination. I know you've mentioned it a couple of times in the broadcast in the past, but I've finally upgraded to an actual gaming PC from a Microsoft Surface. I was racing on that for a long time, and just that huge step up in graphics and just being able to see everything going on around me has just allowed me to race a lot harder, i.e. tonight, being able to stick with these guys. But I would say that's definitely been the biggest things for us.
So a fourth place finish tonight, a brand new computer, came in sitting 10th in the point standings. This is really going to help you out, being your first top 5 of the season and one of the biggest movers tonight. How does it feel knowing with only 2 races left, you're inside the top 10 with a shot to lock yourself in?
Tonight was huge. I'm honestly really nervous about North Wilkesboro next week. I've tested the car a lot. I just cannot seem to get it figured out. So I think next week's going to be a struggle. And then we go into Daytona, which is just a huge unknown. Tony and I have had it circled all season as a race we can go in and potentially steal a win. But who knows? I mean, we could be a lap 1 wreck and we're out of it. So this is going to really help my confidence as we move forward the next 2 weeks. It gives me a little bit of a relaxation going into Wilkesboro and then Daytona the week after, knowing that I've set myself up to where I can have, maybe some struggles, but still have a shot at getting in the top 12 there.
Well, a good run here tonight, Joe, but some news that came out of the Strano Brothers Racing stable along with the Red Light Racing organization. Tell us about what's going on over there with the Victory Junction camp.
Yeah, so I'm sure you've seen it on Tony's Chevys all season, but Victory Junction's come on board with us this season to be a primary sponsor for one of our cars. If you don't know Victory Junction, I would strongly encourage you to go to victoryjunction.org. They're a great camp for kids with disabilities. They do a lot of great work over there to get these kids to participate in some fun activities, just getting out and enjoy themselves. But they also agreed to come on and sponsor a championship race this season. But as part of that, we're encouraging all the Red Light Racing family to go to our Facebook page and follow the donation link and consider donating to Victory Junction to support their cause. So I would greatly appreciate it if you got some time and a little bit of extra money in your pocket to consider them when you're donating next time.
Well, that's pretty cool for you, Joe, along with the Red Light Racing family. It is all a family here with Red Light, but we're going to let you go celebrate because I can hear it in your voice. You're ready to go and rip and roar out there tonight. So a fourth place finish for you, Joe. Who made this one possible?
Well, first of all, I got to thank my beautiful wife. Thank you, Mom, for being. I know she watches every single week. Thank you, Grandma. I know she watches every week. She sends me a message. Great racing. My father-in-law, Mike. Thank you for coming out and supporting me every single week. The sponsors on the car, Green Forest Tree Supply, they've came on board all season this year, and they're also the one of the broadcast sponsors. So go check them out if you haven't already. Draft Top and Victory Junction are also on the Chevy here, and I got to thank my brother as a teammate. He makes it possible here.
Well, there you heard it from the fourth place finisher tonight, Joe Strano, the driver of the Green Forest Tree Supply, DraftTop.com, Victory Junction machine. He had himself a solid finish. It is his best finish of the season. He started back there in the 18th spot, worked his way up to P number 4. That is your post-race show brought to us by Renaissance Nutrition. Al, it was a great one here tonight at the virtual Chicagoland Speedway, where Richard Murdoch was able to pull off that last couple laps, call about the last lap and a half pass for the race win.
Yeah, what an amazing finish to an amazing race here tonight, the Chicagoland Speedway. I tell you, every time we get to come into the booth here for the Red Light Series, then with the RB Custom Rigs Scrambler Series, the racing is on the edge of your seat, white-knuckled through the whole entire race. Pit strategies, if you don't love it, you're not a race fan.
Yeah, some more great racing here. This is going to be just about it here from the Chicagoland Speedway. Let's take a quick look at our race results. Race results brought to us by the Green Forest Tree Supply. Your yard starts at the Green Forest Tree Supply. Richard Murdoch, you heard from him. He officially locks himself into the chase. Along with James Heater, who finished second. Sean Butler was right there in third. Joe Strano, you heard from him, in fourth. Michael Trevarthen was fifth, with Tim Combs, who threaded the needle there. Coming out of turn number 4, he was able to come back to the sixth position. Tony Strano was sitting there seventh in the Victory Junction gang machine. Eighth was going to be Ryan O'Danny. Ninth was Brandon Minto. 10th was Zach Mitchell. In the 11th position, having his best finish of the season, that was the driver from Australia. That is Kevin O'Brien. 12th is going to be the Simbox 977 of Doug Neal. 13th, Max Terriel. 14th, Eric Johnson. Josh Buckley, 15th. 16th, the driver of the Renaissance Nutrition 84, Christopher Rothrock. James Skelton with some last lap issues also. He finishes 17th. 18th is going to go to Brian Phillips. And then rounding out our field here tonight, coming home in 19th is Ethan Troutman, Rob Higgins, Jason Wells, Michael Bromley, Sean Single, Dustin Gainey, DJ Anderson with the Heartbreaker. He finishes 25th. Tim Blumman, 26th, and 27th goes to Corey Silva. That is your 27-car field here tonight from the virtual Chicagoland Speedway. Al, closing thoughts here with Richard Murdoch going to victory lane.
I think it's definitely a statement from that race team. The Full Throttle Racing Camp coming into tonight needed a win to make something happen for the playoffs. Gets it done, so he will be contesting for the 2020 RB Custom Rigs Championship here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the Red Light Scrambler Series. I think it's anybody's game. We got next week's race, the last time that we will see the 87 Winston Cup style cars this season before we go to Daytona on the high banks, and that's just going to be, well, anybody's game down there. If I'm a driver in the series, I want to be locked in after next week if I'm not already when we head to Daytona.
Well, another good race here for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series from the whole family over at Red Light Racing, and all of us here tonight at the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoyed this presentation here from the virtual Chicagoland Speedway. It played host to the third, well, one of 3 races left, as now that is only going to be 2 races left leaving Chicagoland. Race fans, we hope you enjoyed tonight's race, and we can't wait to see you back right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So for everybody at Red Light Racing, Al Smith, I'm Roger from Youth. We will catch you next time right here at the races.